The time is 2011. I'm in my kitchen, or my parents' kitchen. Next thing you know, I look outside, and we will return to 2011 Snowmageddon in a moment, but first, you need to go get something warm, like this lady. She's doing a great job modeling it, because no matter whether it snows or not, you are going to be freezing your butt off, and little icicles are going to form on your beard if you have a beard, and it's just going to be really unfortunate. As you can see here, I did a great job at preparing for the snow in my camo boots and all-blue snowsuit. So take a lesson and get prepared. It's not about looking cute next week. It's about staying warm. But back to next week's snow potential. You may be wondering, is the power going to go out? Are heating going to be gone? Are we going to freeze to death? Is it going to be like the Atlanta 2014 Snowmageddon? And the answer is probably not. But it's best to be prepared. So let's see what we're looking at. You may be like, Carrie, where are you getting these facts from? My dad has been doing weather reports for years, and he would send out 3-page emails to our school system to decide whether we should shut down about snow, and we could have done that this time, but I just feel like making a video like this is a lot better. I mean, look at these reviews. You warned us days before. I need to make sure I was prepared with my generator, thanks to you. I mean, come on. So I have learned from him, and am using his knowledge to better understand what storm we're working with. But just like my dad's emails, or I guess you could call them dissertations, I'm not getting to the point here. I am almost 2 minutes in, and I still haven't told you what we think is going to happen next week. But we're getting there, so stand by. I mean, plus, this is way more fun, right? It's kind of like I'm taking boring stuff and making it fun. I'm like a funslater, like a translator, but a funslater. Okay, all right. So unlike a radar that gives us real-time weather reporting, we use models that take data from around the world to bring together and predict what is going to happen in our atmosphere. So here we go. Meet the lineup. First up, we have the NAM, also known as the North American Mesoscale Forecast System. Next up, we have the GFS, also known as the Global Forecast System. Then we have the Euro, also known as the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast Model. And finally, we have the SREF, also known as the Short Range Ensemble Forecast. The only thing I can think of with ensemble is like being in a musical. I digress. We will be using these models to look at a very specific type of storm, and I'm going to start with the NAM, and we're going to see what it's thinking we're going to see in the next few days. So we've got a unique system here. We've got two lows actually high up in there. We got a low, you see that hurricane-looking thing with the north, and the one behind it. As you can see here, this snow is pushing, bam, right towards us on Monday. Now let's switch to a different model. Now we're on the GFS. So here's something that's important to know. We've got this snow coming in, but something I noticed really quick. Did you see that? We're going to go back. Watch this swooping motion and the added moisture bring that up. That's gonna be a major factor here. As my dad said, this is a great setup for the South to get snow. But there are multiple factors we need to look at here. First off is temperature. Normally we're really hesitant about predicting snow in the South based on whether or not it's gonna be right above below freezing. Temperature should not be a problem for this one. We are good there. Moisture is our big iffy. This is the kind of thing we're waiting on. We're not entirely sure about that factor yet. And then I have another little section that I call the completely unknowns. Sometimes models overpredict. Most of the time they overpredict where they underpredict. So it's just something to keep in mind. I guess my dad's surprisingly concise text kind of gets us our official prediction. I'm fairly optimistic because normally he ends it with, or nothing could happen at all, and he didn't this time, so I'm feeling good. We're probably going to see at least an inch of snow here in Tennessee. Also, side note, if you're in Georgia, you've been watching this entire thing, you're not getting anything from what I can tell, and I'm so sorry that you've watched this entire video, and now you know that. Anyway, back to Tennessee. Maximum 5 inches, but most likely somewhere in between that, which is great, right? This is perfect. We're getting snow. Everything's gonna be fine. Wrong. This is not gonna be like the 2011 Snowmageddon where, the power went out because the, icicles were freezing and everything was ice blocks as pictured here. It's gonna come down like snow. Most likely, but the problem is, remember how I said we don't have to worry about temperature? Well, we do have to worry about it for this reason. It is going to be so cold, that snow is gonna freeze fast. And that means our roads are gonna be. And then when the sun hits the snow, it's gonna melt a little bit, and then that water will freeze overnight, and you can see the cycle. That's what I'm most worried about. But you know what this means? Sledding weather, yes! And now is a perfect time to announce one of our sponsors for this. Actually, I'm just kidding. We don't have a sponsor, but I'll link my Venmo account. It's at CarryYork03. Just kidding. Okay, moving right along. Here is the written out what we are expecting for this snowstorm coming up on MLK weekend. I would also like to encourage you to err on the side of caution and go ahead and have a plan for if the power does go out and things of that nature. For me, I don't have anything. Everything's electric in my apartment, so I'm just gonna have to go find allies. That's okay though, and we're gonna stock up on Pop-Tarts. So, thank you so much for listening to this weather report. We hope to bring you more information soon. Go get your milk, go get your bread, go get your bibbers, and have a great weekend. Disclaimer that what we say in this video may not be entirely true, and we are not exactly sure what's going to happen, and you cannot get mad at us if it doesn't snow the way you thought it would. We were just trying to tell you what we think, but honestly, nobody actually has really an idea. But we're feeling pretty good about this, but again, we're not entirely sure, so you can't get mad and you can't rely on us to give you the most accurate information, because everything could be different and everything can entirely change, and we could have a tornado, you never really know.